Greetings, Ani, Bojo, Kwekwe, Tanzi. It's Catherine and Brian at Moonstarlodge. We've been around for most of the Jurassic age, doing all kinds of traditional indigenous art, spirituality, and education programs. Actually, it's now 42 years, something like that. And we've been bringing weekly readings since the beginning of COVID. And we decided to continue because people seem to enjoy them. We come at this with an Algonquin Mi'kmaq and Mi'kmaq Métis perspective, but we have studied, both of us, with elders across this country. So, without further ado, we are dealing with the moon cycle of loves all things. Or as I mentioned last week, if you saw my video, my grandmother said, she who finds love in all things. Her new moon day is today, the day we're filming. And it's also a day where the most intense of the solar flares are happening. And it's a day where I had to find love in my cat breaking my lamp just seconds before we started to prepare. So I was thrown off. Anyway, the emphasis for this reading is actually the 10th through the 16th of June. And the following reading will cover the full moon of Loves All Things, or She Who Finds Love in All Things. We dose when we prepare, what decks are appropriate, and it's all indigenous decks this week. So let me get you the decks. I had to put them off to the side because I'm using a medicine wheel spread. So this is the bag I use for the Medicine Woman Tarot. This is the Seeds from the Sacred Feminine. It's a brand new deck, and we're going to be doing a special separate video on new indigenous decks in the next week or so. This is Held by the Land, and that's plant medicine, indigenous plant medicine. Moonology Manifestations. The Marigold Tarot, because, well, the ancestors like that one. The small version, pocket version of the medicine cards for some dotems for this month. A deck by Asha Frost, the Sacred Medicine Oracle. A deck by Terry Lynn Williams Davidson, the Haida Box of Knowledge. And finally, Wisdom of the Elders Oracle by Sean Leonard. Some of these I've used in the past, some of them are brand new, have never been used. So this is a different mix-up for the wheel. So as I said, this is for the 10th through the 16th, and this is a serious major coffee event. You can go to the cards, Brian. All right, here's our wheel. We have 8 cards for the, we have 7 cards for the tarot. We have the rest of the cards in the middle of the wheel, and I should have probably pulled an 8th tarot, but we were asked to provide a second Wisdom of the Elders card, so I've put it in that position. So otherwise now the wheel is balanced. As with all readings, we start in the east, we move through the south, to the west, to the north, and where necessary I go across through the equinoxes and solstices and make it a full correlating the cards that are appropriate to the tarot. So our significator card here is the 10 of Stones, or the 10 of Pentacles in this particular week coming. And that is having all the abundance, everything in this third dimensional world: money, job, home, family, happiness, and moving beyond the immediate family into creating legacy. That's a very happy card. And I think, judging from what the other cards that I pulled in preparation for this, we need to see this as very much the anchor for where the message is going. Clarifying it is the star blanket. And the star blanket is transition. So star blankets are used and made in many indigenous cultures across Turtle Island. For example, when a young girl begins to menstruate, or a young couple gets married, or a young man completes a sweat lodge or a sacred journey. This is an act of love. The community will come together and make the star blanket. So this signals a transition. We're moving out of one phase of life into another. This is a card of transition. It's the end of one cycle, moving on to the next cycle. Moving down here into the southeast, we have the Two of Stones. A woman doing some wash or something in the water. It's balancing all the chores and things we have to do. It's maintaining balance and equilibrium. The total concept of this card is the lemniscate. And so this is, while we have stuff coming, we're being told to prepare by staying in balance. The card within the circle that relates to it is release your shame. This is going to be the beginning message of a series of similar messages that have come up from all these disparate decks. So this is about celebration, doing ceremony. This is still within the new moon energy, as we're in the first quarter with most of this reading. Therefore, we need to begin something anew. This is Love's All Things. So we need to love ourselves within the shame frame, and love the shame, what it's taught us about freeing ourselves. Moving to the south, how we do this is the exemplar of bowls. This is the same as the King of Cups. We do this from a place of emotional maturity, of a spiritual intellect and integration of emotional maturity, not just for ourselves, but externally expressing to others. So others will see us releasing the shame that holds us back. I will come to the clarifier for this in a little while. The next tarot card is the Nine of Arrows. The Nine of Arrows is the same as the Nine of Swords. This is somebody who is very wrapped up under the burden of fear and losing sleep over worries. It's possibly the worries of being seen for the shame, but this is a transition reading. So let's carry on from the place of Love's All Things. The clarifier for this card is the silent observer, and Koya Kagan Ja'ad. This is the Sky Woman. So Sky Woman is watching us, and is there to help us. She is part of the birthing process of the world. She is helping us not to fear rebirthing out of a place of shame and birthing into this place of recognizing just what plenty we have. Moving to the west, we have the 10 of Arrows. This is the 10 of Swords. Something is dead and leaving. These people are gathered around a table doing prayers and connecting with this person who has just become an ancestor. We have to let something go. And in the darkness of the west is the position of leaving this earthly dimension. It is through the west door that we leave. So we have to let that part of us go. And it's clarified by the sacred medicine, doing medicine and ritual where earth and sky meet rock and water. It is the calling to the Rainbow Bridge, the ancestors, as I say, the where earth and sky meet rock and water, going to a place to ritualize in this week the transition, not fearing that we aren't good enough or going to be somehow exposed, but recognizing the transition is happening. Nothing stays the same. And I'm going to move to this card. This is the Great Spirit sitting in the position, the Creator in the Northwest. And this is the Elder, the Gichimunido, the one that we connect with for all this transition space. One of the plants that was called upon here is called thimbleberry. It's high in vitamin C. The spring shoots are rich in minerals, and they can be nibbled right off the plant. The berries are quintessential summer flavors, so we are nourishing ourselves. The final card here in the north, sorry, it's not the final card, it's the 10 of Pipes, and this is the 10 of Wands, recognizing that burdens we've been carrying are done, let them down. Look at the number of 10s that we have here today. I will get to the clarifier later. The final card in the northeast is Sunset. So we are being asked to acknowledge that Sunset in this deck is the same card as the Death card. It is the transition. This is grandfather, son, going to sleep. This is the light, the spirit, separating. It is the spirit of the old. It is not us physically dying. It is we are letting go of what's holding us back, which is shame or feelings of inferiority, that sort of thing. Sometimes it's guilt. Sometimes it's feeling we have secrets we must hold. That's all under the umbrella of shame. Let me come to the cards now in the middle. Clarifying the sunset here is ancestors and spirit guides. These are the ones we need to call upon to help us know how we are transitioning in our life moving forward under the moon sign, or the moon of she who finds love in all things. We are meant to find love in the teachings of what caused us to feel shame, but not to hold the shame. Just love the teachings. So coming into this middle section here, we've got the ancestors speaking. And here's the Great Spirit again, vision. It's very much right beside this card, the calling for a vision. This is the Great Spirit. So the Great Spirit is highly involved. This is our destiny, and this is what we are meant to do. In order to fulfill our karmic journey, we need to involve ancestors, spirit guides, the Creator, all these sacred ancestral beings. This card here, the ancestors, is from a different deck. Obviously, it's a tarot. It's the Four of Rings, or the Four of Pentacles. So we had the 2, and in this alignment, we come to the 4. So the 4 is a stability card. It tells us that we might be juggling, but we're going to find stability once we get all this releasing, letting go, done. The totems involved in this are buffalo in the north. Make way for abundance. Release fear of lack or scarcity. Open yourself to receive. And the hawk is the other totem for this week. Honor all life forms and all humans as messengers. Trust life's messages and signals. Hawk is one of the totems that flies closest to the Creator, like eagle, like thunderbird, and can see things from a greater perspective and from a higher place. So you're going to be receiving messages from a number of quarters, particularly all these ancestors and spirit cards. The final moon card, which I put in the middle to balance the spread, is know your worth. Well, that's how we get rid of the shame. It's representative of the new moon in Taurus. Well, we've moved out of Taurus, and this is a Gemini new moon. I'm going to ask the great Wazoo over there if you could douse for me, please, maybe over the circle, if you can reach, and tell me if this whole process takes us to the new moon in Taurus next year, or if this is about, okay, thank you. There'll be some extra dessert for the great Wazoo. All right, so everything we're putting in place today in She Who Finds Love in All Things are going to be manifested in their completion. There's so many endings here. The Death card, the, let me see here, I can't see very well today. The 10 of Stones, the 9 of Arrows, the 10 of Arrows. It's, and this is the 10 of Pipes. There's a lot of things ending, but a lot of good stuff. You can flip the camera, Brian. This reading was a long time in the making and preparation, notwithstanding Nimke breaking the lamp, but it took a great deal of coordinating to pull this together, involving new decks that I've never worked with, but also pairings of decks which I've not paired together before. So I'm glad that I was able to bring this very powerful message. Screenshot this wheel and keep it in your gallery of photos, and remind yourselves, as I will. I always keep pictures of the good ones, and know that we are all worthy. We are of the Creator, the Great Spirit, Kichi Munido, and as a part of that, we are equal to, we are the same. Shame is something that's laid on us. We don't need to keep it. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. We thank those people who are supporting us with the coffees and in other ways. We thank you for subscribing, because that helps with Google deciding to send our videos, share them with other people. You can support us through coffee. All the information is in below. If you just click on the title of the video, you get all that information. Leave me a comment. I love to answer your comments. Anyway, enjoy this month of Loves All Things. Aho.